Hi there, Sugar Snaps. Today I want to show you how to scour your wool fibers. Scouring is the process of cleaning your wool for natural dyeing. It removes any dirt, oil, or grease from the surface or anything that the company you bought it from sprayed it with, any finishes or things that keep it nice in the stores. Washes that all away so that it will absorb the pigment of the natural dyes more effectively. So we're going to scour these skeins of wool yarn. And to do that, I have a couple materials here, materials and tools. So first I have a pot of warm water. I have Synthropol detergent. This is used on wool fibers. Synthropol, I got this off of Dharma Trading Company, and it's a detergent that will clean the fiber well for natural dyeing. I have a meat thermometer. I use this because I can stick the probe into my pot of scouring liquid, and it has a timer that will tell me when it reaches the desired temperature. I have an electric scale for measuring out the weight of fiber as well as the amount of Synthropol that I need to use. A jar and tablespoon for weighing out the Synthropol. And I have a jar of water here in order to mix the Synthropol with some water before I put it in my pot. So first off, I'm going to take my weight of fiber. So I'll take my scale, turn it on, and then measure out my fiber. And I have 2.6 ounces of fiber here. So now I'm going to calculate the amount of Synthropol liquid that I am going to use. So there's the general rule for the amount of Synthropol or detergent you need to wash your fiber is 1% of the weight of fiber for commercially spun yarns or commercially sold yarns or fiber or fabric as well. That will remove any kind of finishes or oils from your hands or grease or dirt. If you are working with a material that is a raw fiber, something that is coming right from the fleece or hasn't been totally scoured and cleaned yet, then you want to use 1 to 3% of the weight of fiber worth of Synthropol in your scouring bath. And if you're working with something that is extremely greasy, you want to go up to 5% weight of fiber for the Synthropol. So just be aware of the type of fiber you're using when you measure out the amount of Synthropol. This is a commercially spun yarn, commercially sold yarn, and so I'll use 1% Synthropol. So that will be 0.025 ounces. So I'll round up to 0.03 ounces of Synthropol. And my scale doesn't go down that far, so I'm going to just put in a drop into this jar. You won't need very much of this. You'll use quite small amounts in your scouring process. So I'll just put a drop in my jar and then pour in some water. And I have dyeing written on the side of my jar. This is to indicate that this jar is only for natural dyeing in order to not mix it with food stuff for safety's sake. So I'm gonna swish this around until the Synthropol has totally mixed in. And then I'll take my pot of water here, open it up, and pour in the Synthropol. And if you have more in, just swish it around until it's all in there. Okay, and then I'm going to dump in my fiber. So just gently set it in there and press it into the water and kind of move it around a bit. Okay, and once the fiber is completely submerged in the water, then you will put it on the stove. For scouring, you want to set your pot on a stove or on a burner and allow it to rise up to 180 degrees. And I like to set mine at medium and then bring it up to 180 degrees. And then once it reaches 180 degrees Fahrenheit, you want to hold it there for 30 minutes. So I'll put my lid on, take it to the stove, and heat it to 180 degrees for 30 minutes. Okay, my yarn has heated to 180 degrees and sat for 30 minutes on the stove, and I let that pot cool so that I can easily handle it, and now I'm going to rinse it out. So I have a bowl here to show you the process. You'll most likely want to do this in the sink in order to make sure you get all excess out, all excess soap suds out. So I'm going to transfer this over into my bowl and swish it around and gently lift it up out of the water. Move it around, and then once it's rinsed out, you'll squeeze out the excess water. And now you can go straight to mordanting your natural fiber. So here's your skein of yarn, all scoured and ready to be mordanted and natural dyed. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Brittany Stanton from Textile Indie. I hope you found this video helpful. Subscribe below if you want to learn more about natural dyeing and how to mordant your now scoured yarn. And look up textileindie.com for more resources and tutorials in basket weaving, natural dyeing, spinning, and other fiber arts. Thanks.